Today I'm going to be going over on a how-to guide for America's tech tree on like which vehicles for you to research first and how to get down the tech tree a little faster. Now, getting into that, we're going to start with from rank 1 to rank 4 with this video with tanks and aircraft. And I'd say for tanks wise, since you're starting off with the LVT and the Stewart, or one of the Stewarts, me personally, the first tank I would say you would want to research, I would say probably would be the M3. That way you can take down enemy aircraft with it. And also at this BR, like at reserve or like 1.7, the 50 cal can actually penetrate a lot of enemy tanks, especially on the sides. So, because like with the LVT, like if you go against another one or something like that, it's like the whole armor on the front, 12 millimeters. The sides are 6. The 50 cals can penetrate up to 30 millimeters of armor. So you can take out a good majority of vehicles. I'd say you might have a little trouble with maybe the German vehicles, maybe a little bit. But I would say for your first vehicle to research would be the M13. Once you get that one, then I probably would go for the M22. And if you've been in War Thunder a little bit, you've seen a lot of people using this tank at pretty much any BR almost. And the reason for that is it's a small tank with a really good gun, honestly, because you'll get about 87 millimeters of pin with this. Then you can also get a common round with this, so it's technically kind of a APHE round for it. And that still has about 32 millimeters of pin, and it has explosive mass in it. So you can take out lightly armored tanks with that round, and you can use your other round for a little thicker kind of tanks. After you get the M22, I probably would go for like the M8. This is actually a pretty good little tank right here. But once you get to, like, you would have to research the M2A2, but once you get the M8 for rank 1, I'd research whatever you need to get to rank 2. Once you get to rank 2, since you already have the M13, I'd probably get the Sherman 105. That way you have better capabilities of taking out tanks. And the armor on this 105 is actually pretty good. So if you want to be a little tanky with it, or get something that has a little better armor so you can survive more shots, this one's actually pretty good. Once you get the 105, I probably would go for the M16. That way you can have a slightly better AA tank. You'll have 2 additional 50 cals on this one. And once you get that, probably you'd want to go for the M10. The M10 is a really great vehicle. There are some times where you, I would say like if you get down tiered, your armor is actually pretty good, besides maybe getting hit by a high explosive shell. If you get hit by a high explosive, you can get over pressurized because of this tank being an open top. But if you get up tiered, your armor's not like amazing, especially if you go against like a Panzer IV with a 75. But I go with the 105, then the M16, then the M10. Then it'd be kind of your choice depending on if you want a even better AA tank, or what I would probably want to go through would probably try to get down to these Sherman tanks, the 75s on them. These are actually pretty good. Another option too, if you want more light tank focused stuff, like where you can like spot things, you can go for the M24, the Chaffee. This one's actually really good mobility, really good gun, and the 50 cal can aim up pretty high, so you can kind of use it to go after enemy aircraft also. Because like on some of these earlier Shermans, they don't have the 50 cal to where it can aim up real high. It only aims up like, say like 30, maybe 40 degrees. But if you want more light tank focused stuff, go for the M24. If you want more capabilities of bouncing shells, go for the 105 and the M10. Then if you want like a multi-purpose tank, you can go for the basic M4s. Now into rank 3, you could go for the M18. M18 is a great tank, but at this point, I probably wouldn't want to go for it just yet, mainly because it's at 6.0. It used to be 5.7, which it was decent at 5.7, but now it's at 6.0, so having only like 4.0 tanks and then going straight to 6.0, don't do that just yet. I probably would want, if I was you, I would go for probably these Shermans right here. Go for these. Then you could also go for the M6. And the tank I would highly recommend trying to go for first, actually, for rank 3 would be the Jumbo. The Jumbo is just amazing because you can bounce majority of tank shells with this tank. And there are some times where you can bounce like the long 88s from like Tiger 2s with this tank. Now, if it's up close, like I would say probably within 400 to 500 meters, if the enemy tank's closer than that, then you might have a little trouble in bouncing the shell. But at further distances, you can bounce the Tiger 2's gun. But I'd highly recommend trying to go for this, the Jumbo. Once you get that, then another tank I kind of like a lot too would probably trying to get to these M36s. These are really good tanks because they get a 90 millimeter and they can punch through pretty much anything you want, all the way up to probably about 7.0. So they're still really good, and they're at 5.7, or 5.3 and 5.7. The good thing about the 5.7 version is the top of the turret is covered slightly. You're still technically open top, but it is covered, so it makes it harder for enemy aircraft to strafe you a little bit. But it also gets access to a heat round at 5.7 that has about, I think, was it 305 millimeters pin. So with that round, you can go through anything you want, even like top tier vehicles. Now, after you get down to the Jumbo and like these M36s, the M44 is also a pretty good one too. The only downside is it has no armor, but the gun, if you can hit an enemy tank's turret with the gun with a high explosive, you should one-shot it majority of the time, no matter what tank it is, because this is a high explosive slinger. So you got, yeah, 9 kilograms of explosive mass. I'd say most tanks should die from getting hit in their turret. Now, after you get down to like the Jumbo and the M36, probably would go for, if you haven't done these Shermans yet, I'd probably go for the Shermans. Then, after you get those, then you can go for the M18. That way you have vehicles that can compete better at 6.0. Now, if you've played a whole bunch, but you're just now starting out with America, and you kind of know how to play the game pretty well, kind of like, I guess not, the way I'm kind of explaining it, I guess, would be like, if you know how to rat with vehicles, you could go straight for the M18. And you can get a lot of points with this, and then if you know how to be sneaky, you can use these other vehicles and kind of hide in areas. But if you don't want to be sneaky, you need to try to get like the Jumbo, the M36, and then these Shermans, and then the M18. But after that, now we're at rank 4. Now tanks in this area, but I would probably want to go to start from the beginning. I would probably, me personally, I really like the M109. It's nice. You got a high explosive shell that is pretty good. And another thing too with this one, this specific HE shell, is it has a proxy fuse on it. And you can use this to take down enemy aircraft. And I personally like using this for anti-air majority of the time. Now, see what's the velocity? So, okay, the velocity of the shell is a little slow, but compared to other high explosive shells at this kind of BR, because there's like the Rhino for Britain, and that one has a pretty good velocity. But I like to use this for anti-air. You can also use the 50 cal that's on the roof for anti-air too, if you wanted. I'd probably go with the M109 first. Then after that, you could probably go for, depending if you want something to be able to tank some shells, you can go for the Jumbo with the 76. Or if you want to be a light tank and scoot around the battlefield and, spot targets and be a little sneaky with it, and you can go with the M8. M41 is pretty decent. It's not, I would say it's not the best one in the game, because there are some that get heat rounds, but this one gets a Sable round, so that's pretty nice, and it's about 300 millimeters pin, so that's good. And you got the basic shell, which has about 77, 173 penetration. It's not terrible, but this one's a pretty good vehicle. So I go with M09. If the way I would do it, I go with M19, then the Jumbo, then the M41, and then I probably would want to go for, honestly, I'd probably go for the Pershing. This Pershing, the T26E5, is, me personally, better than this 26E1. A lot better on its protection. This one has a lot of extra armor thrown on the front of it, but the big weak points of it is the machine gun port on the chassis, and then the lower part of each side of the turret, on the sides of the turret. And you can penetrated by a long 88 by those the turret cheeks. So you don't have to research the super Pershing, but I'd probably just go with just this one. And once you get the E5 version, then you can come over here and get the M56, so you can be a little sneaky. Once you get that one, then I go for the T-34. And after that, you can kind of go with whatever you would want in this area. After getting those vehicles, this going with the M19, then the Jumbo, then the M41, then the E5, then the M56, and then I could say T-34. After that, I would get the M50. This one's a pretty good one. It's called the Thing. Wish it had its flechette rounds. That'd be kind of neat. But after that, then you can research whatever you want. Now we're gonna go over to aircraft. Now, aircraft-wise for America, the good thing is there are some of these aircraft where you can start with, yeah, like with this one, you start with a 50 cal, which is actually pretty nice because the majority of the other aircraft only start out with like 7.7s majority of the time. There are some other aircraft that at low BR can have like a 20 mil or something like that. But for aircraft, I probably would go for... Okay, for aircraft, I probably go with this P-36A. This one's pretty nice. It has a pretty good turn time. And I like it a lot. This is one I used a lot whenever I first started with America. After researching it, you have to use... I'd say the vehicle that would help you the best on like researching one of these first vehicles first would be this P-26, just because it has a 50 cal on it. And I think you can also carry bombs with it too. So if you wanted to go into ground battles, you could, you know, carry a few of these little tiny bombs and hit like some open top tanks with it. So, I mean, that's also another option too for this one, for taking it into ground battles. But I would research the P-36A. Once you get that one, then I probably would go with the SB2. That way you can get something that can carry a, you know, decent sized bomb. Like you can get all the way up to 1,000-pound bomb with this thing. So that's really nice. Now I'm pretty sure you can still use these on ground. I can't remember. I haven't really tried them in a while, but I'm pretty sure you can still use them. But this is an anti-ship mine, and it adds a lot of explosive mass. You know, 508 kilograms of TNT equivalent, and then while this one only has 300, so it has about 200 more kilograms of explosive mass than the 1,000-pounder. But I would definitely go with the SB2. I definitely would go with the SB2U. Then after that, then I'd probably want to, I would say go down to this TBF. This thing is really nice, and I'm pretty sure with this one, doesn't get, no it doesn't, okay, it's a different one. But this one does get access to a 2,000-pound bomb, so that's really nice. And with a 2,000-pound bomb at, what is this, 7, that's a big bomb for 1.7. You can take out a lot of stuff with that. After you get the TBF, you could try to use the SBD3 if you still need more vehicles to unlock to get to rank 2. Because with this one, you can get access to these gun pods with it, and that gives you additional 450 cals to it. And let's see here, modification. And with this, the SBD3, you start off with 250 cals, and then you also have a turret in the back with 2 7.62s. And if you put those gun pods on, now you have 650 cals. And at 2.0, having 650 cals, you're gonna shred some stuff. Now, after you get that, if you still need more vehicles to research to be able to get into the rank 2 area, you could probably go for the P-36C. This one's still pretty nice to have. And then I probably would say you could try to research maybe one of these foldered vehicles or something like that. It'd be less research to, you know, the research. Then after that, I'd probably go down to rank 2, and the first plane I probably would say to go for would probably be... First plane I would probably research would probably be this P-36, mainly to try to get down to the P-40. The P-40 at rank 2 is actually pretty good. I really like the thing. And either one, like, you could research both of these. The P40F is slightly better, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so it has a better turn time than the E version. Yeah. So, I'd probably research the P40 and then get down to this P40F. And these things are really nice. There was one time where I took it to top tier and I shot down a MiG-21 with it. So, it is capable. Then after you get the P40, if you wanted to, you could also get this P51. The P50, this is the early P51, so it's not like really great, but it's still a pretty good vehicle. So depending on what you would want, you could go for this one also. But after getting the P40, just go ahead and research the P51. Then once you research that one, then depending on what you would want, the aircraft over here on the left hand side are better for climbing and going after like enemy bombers. They'll have a little better engines for like high altitude and whatnot. The P-38s are pretty good majority of the time, but I would say the line that you would want to research next after getting to this P-51 is I'd probably go down this line right here with the F2s, the F2, F4, F4U. I'd go down this line mainly because if once you get down here to like rank 4, these Corsairs start to get really good. But yeah, get down to here, get your P40. P40's great. Then start researching this line. Get these naval aircraft out of the way, get them all researched. And I say out of this line, your better options would be these Corsairs right here. They have really good engines. They got, 650 cals. And they have, I'd say, decent turn times for the size they are. But I would, yeah, for rank 2 wise, P40 is really great. And then these Corsairs are your second option. Now, going into rank 3, I probably would go for this line right here. First, you can get down to like one of these P47s. Get down to these. These are really nice because they got really good, really strong engines in them. So you can like boom and zoom with these P47s. And you also get good bomb loadouts with them majority of the time. Like with these, you can carry up to like two 2,000-pound, or not two 1,000-pound bombs. And you could also slap in a 500 on the belly right there. But I go for these P47s. Once you get the P47s, then you can come back over here to this middle line and try to get down here to this F6F. This F6F is a really nice vehicle. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong one. Okay. One thing I missed actually on the rank 2 area is in this little folder right here. If you open it and you get down here to this F6F5, this one's really nice, mainly because you can carry a really nice loadout with this vehicle. So if you want like a really good ground pounder for like 3.3 area, this is awesome because you can carry a 2,000-pound bomb with 2 500s and 4 rockets. And the bombs drop individually, so you could have up to 3 kills or more since you have a 2,000. And then if you see any open top vehicles, these missiles also launch individually. So you could have another 4, or have 4 kills right there. So you could have up to 7 kills on the ground with this vehicle without even using the 50 cals to strafe anything. So that's another one that's also a really good one to get access to. Now you have to go through these aircraft to research them, but this one's kind of worth it on trying to get it for ground pounding wise. But back to rank 3, you want to research down this line, and you can get this S6F, and you should be able to kind of make the same or similar loadout. But with this one, you won't be able to carry a 2,000 in the center, but you will be able to carry 2,000-pound bombs and then probably like 4 missiles with it. And these, I said F6F is a really good one. The F8F is also a pretty good one too. because it has a really strong engine in it. So it kind of depends on what you'd want. This one I would say is better for a little higher altitude fighting than this one. But the good thing about this one is you also get two 20 mils, and then I'm pretty sure, yeah. So with this one, you get two 20 mils and 450 cals. So that's actually pretty nice. Now, once you research those vehicles, you should have access to rank 4. And at rank 4 area, it kind of just depends on which one that you would want. But me personally, I would say the best aircraft in this area for rank 4 would probably be this 5.7 Corsair, the F4U-4B. This thing has a extremely strong engine in it, and it can carry a really nice loadout. Like, look at this. Like, you can carry two 2,000, or not two, you can carry two 500-pound bombs, and then you can carry four 250-pound bombs with 4 rockets. Or if you wanted to, you can also carry 1,000-pound bombs, and then some of your other bombs with it. So, but I like this loadout more, just because you can carry so many bombs, and these drop individually. So you can, instead of the bombs dropping in pairs, you can drop one on each tank. So that's 6 bombs. That could be 6 tank kills right there. And then you got 4 missiles for like open tops, and so that's another. So you can have up to 10 kills with just the ordnance on the belly with this plane. And then you also get access to these 20 mils on this thing. And the American 20 mils, me personally, they hit more like 30 mils on enemy aircraft and on tank. And, you know, with this, you got about 36 millimeters of pin with the armor piercing rounds. And majority of the time, I usually just take the default belts. That way you have a high explosive armor piercing, high explosive armor piercing. It alternates. That way you can take down enemy aircraft and take out enemy tanks. So, I would say best aircraft for rank 4 is the F4U-4B. Me personally, it's really phenomenal plane at doing almost anything you want. CAS or dogfighting. It's great. Now, another one that's really good at dogfighting and whatnot. You would have both of these P-51s. Both of them are really good. The D-30 is really nice because you're still at 5.0 and you have a really good aircraft at 5.0. And the good thing too with this one is the belts for the 50 cals. If you go with just the tracer rounds for it, it has nothing but armor piercing incendiary rounds. So majority of the time, whenever you hit the enemy aircraft, it will almost, like, sometimes it'll immediately catch them on fire. So that's one good thing about some of these 50 cal belts for this for the P-51s. It's also like that for some of the other aircraft too, but I would probably recommend trying to get this F4U before, then you can get the P-51s. Once you get them, then if you wanted to, you could get this, the F-80. This one's pretty decent. Now, one thing a lot of people like about it is this, the gun pod that you can get for it. That adds an additional 50 cals, while you already have 6 built into the aircraft. So that makes you have, what is it? That makes you have 14 50 cals inside this aircraft. So, if you want something that's gonna like dominate on head-ons, FA2 is really good at that. Now, majority of people aren't gonna do a head-on with you because they already know FA2 has a lot of 50 cals on it, but it's a real funny aircraft. But for rank 4 wise, I would go for the F4Us over here. These are really good aircraft. Preferably the 4B. It's a lot better. And then you could also go for these P-51s. Then after that, you can kind of go whatever you want. But what I was kind of describing, you probably only have access to like these right now. So you would have to go back and start researching some of these other lines if you wanted to. I don't think you will need to if you wanted, because you could probably just go straight down. Yeah, you could probably keep going down just these 2 lines, and you could get access to F-15C or the F-18 with just those 2 lines. So, if you want like a fast way to get through America's tech tree, you can just go down these 2 lines, and you should be able to get through everything. well, besides maybe whenever you get to rank 6. Yeah, rank 6 area. You'll have to get one vehicle in one of these lines over here. And from these lines, I'd probably go down the strike aircraft line. But there you go. I'd say best aircraft for rank 4 is F4UB. For rank 3 area, I would say I personally like the P-47. P-47's really great aircraft, and if you use it for boom and zoom tactics with it, it can outperform a good majority of enemy vehicles. So I'd say P-47's a really good option. And then for rank 2, I'd say the P-40 is probably one of your best options for like dogfighting. And then if you want something for multi-purpose, this F6, F5 Hellcat is really great. Then for your rank 1, I'd say these P-36s are probably some of your better options for like dogfighting. But there you go. That is the walkthrough for like rank 1 through 4 for ground and air. Hope you enjoyed it. I will probably be making another video on how to do these, how to go through the next ranks. So I will catch you in the next